Hey, this is Alex from WilkinsonAudio.com. My friend sent me some pre-pro to mix. I thought you guys might want to take a look at how I would go about doing that. In addition, since it's not a super important project, since it's just some pre-production, and I'm sure we'll be recording the song later, I thought I'd try and do it with all free plugins, well, to the extent that I can. So basically I'll be using a lot of Reaper's stock plugins that it includes, and I'll try and just show everybody how I would mix the song. So let's, first things first, let's open it up and see what we got to work with. And my friend actually sent me the entire project that he was working on, so instead of just stems or something like that. So you'll notice that there's a lot of plugins here that I don't have. So they're not going to load, and as a result, the mix he's sending me, his working mix, is not going to play back quite right. But it should be... we should be able to get a rough idea of what we're working with here. So let's just take a quick listen and see what the song we're going to mix sounds like. All right, so that's probably enough to give us an idea of what the song's like there. I noticed that there's no verse vocals. They might still be tracking them. They might have forgot to send them. It's always a good idea to talk to your client or whoever sent you the files and make sure they didn't forget anything. Other than that, I guess we're good to start organizing the project and start working on it. Okay, so... Okay, I think just looking at it here, we have some duplicate files. I had him send me the guitars and the DIs separately because he didn't include the DI, so I just asked for them. And he sent the guitars, I think, twice. So let's organize this and then just kind of like get rid of the duplicate tracks and make this a little more manageable. The first thing I'm going to do is select all the tracks, and we're going to remove the effects. I think there's a command here to do it. You need SWS extensions installed. They're free, so, and they're awesome. So just yeah, just search SWS Reaper extensions and find the website. They'll teach you how to, or tell you how to install them and everything. And we're gonna run this on all of our selected tracks, and it should remove the effects. It should. It apparently doesn't remove all of them, but oh, well, there's some kind of weird glitch in this, but cool. So to get rid of the remaining ones, I'll just hold Alt and click the effects button, and that'll just that'll remove the effects. It's not bypassing them, it's actually removing them, which is what we need. Okay, because you could bypass them like this, which just disables them, but we actually want to just remove them entirely. So we'll hold Alt and click them. Okay, and that should be good. Notice I also, there were effects on the master, which I removed, and that's always going to be very important if someone sends you a project instead of just stems. If they have some kind of master bus effects on there, you're going to be mixing through them the entire time, and if they're, you know, set kind of weird, you turn it off and your whole mix is like a mess, and you basically wasted your mix because it's been through, like, you heard all of it through some weird settings on some master channel effects. Okay, and so next thing to do is we'll reset all these volumes and pans, and I think there's a command for that. To open this window, you just type question mark, this actions menu, like this one, just shift and type question mark, and then select the tracks volume and reset. I'll run that, and that will reset all of our volumes and pans. From this point on, it's going to be a good idea to turn these down, just to make sure you don't cause a really bad noise by accidentally playing it with everything pretty loud. I'll put our master back to 0. I had to turn down a bit just to make sure I didn't destroy anyone's ears earlier. And that looks like a pretty good starting place. So let's just start organizing here. First thing we'll do is a track of guitars, or a folder track, so like a bus, and we're gonna put all our guitars in here and figure out what we need and what we don't need. Okay, some octaves and stuff. There's more guitars down here. Guitars. I think that's all the guitars. Just throw those up here. Okay, so this is gonna be our guitar folder. So we'll take it and we'll go track color set to 1 random color. And they're green. And I saw some bass down here, so we'll make a bass folder. Actually, already has a folder, so I don't need that. Move that and just move the bass up here. And I think that's all the bass tracks, so we'll give it its own color. And here's some MIDI for drums, and here's a drum bus, which keeps it organized for us, I guess. Also make a new couple new channels here. Actually, yeah, just one deep. And we'll call it MIDI. And we'll put all of our drum MIDI under there. And then we have everything organized. I'll probably use Superior instead of the samples he sent. Just because I think it'd be good to show you guys how to route Superior out and mix it like an actual drum set, just to route it out to the DAW, which might be educational for some people. Plus I got the new Progressive Foundry samples, so I'm excited to try them. And this seems like a good project for that. So it looks like all of our drum stuff is in the folder. And we'll make that a color. 1 random color. And these look like a bunch of effects here. So we'll make a new effects folder. And we'll put them all in there. And then we'll make them a color as well. 1 random color. And then we have a bunch of vocals. We have 2 tracks that look like they have nothing on them, so we'll get rid of those. And here's all of our vocals. 1 random color. Okay, so that's a little more organized. There's a lot of tracks with automation and stuff. I'll probably just leave them for now and deal with them as I come across them and see what he was going for when he was automating volumes up and down, and then yeah, then I can make decisions from there after I know what he was trying to do. So it looks like everything's somewhat organized here. I think we got some duplicate tracks in the guitars. Like these, to me, look the same as these, but there's some odd differences that we'll have to sort out. Like, I don't know where this is because the DIs don't have it. Yeah, well, we'll figure it out. He might not have sent me everything or whatever, so we'll figure it out. Other than that, I think we're pretty well good to go. I'm going to clean this up as I go. Another thing that we should do just to be safe is select all the tracks, and we'll remove the sends. And like some of them might be bussed out to other you know, like sent to reverbs and stuff like that. I don't know how he routed all this stuff. So we'll just make sure that none of that's enabled, and everything's kind of just reset to just audio files on tracks for our mixing purposes here. So we'll run that, and this should be, I'm just gonna turn the volume down just to be safe. Okay, cool. We can probably start working on it from here. So in the next video, I will just start mixing these. I guess we'll do drums first. This is a metalcore song. In metalcore, drums are usually large. And something you can do is you choose whichever instrument you want to be the biggest, mix it first. And then typically you'll end up with that instrument being the biggest in the mix because you're mixing everything else around that instrument. So if we start with drums, we'll have a huge drum sound by the end of it. If it's a pop song, like we could also start with the vocals in this one because they're going to be pretty important as well because there's a lot of vocal tracks and it's clearly kind of got a pop vocal production. So either one of those would be a good thing to start with first because those would both be two elements that could potentially be very large in the mix. But I guess we'll just start with drums because that's pretty typical for this kind of production. All right, so in the next video, I will start mixing these drums and show you what to do with that MIDI, and we'll work from there. Okay, cool.